And now call to order the March 15th, 2021 meeting of the New Caney Independent School District Board of Trustees. Current time 6:01. Let the minutes show that a quorum is present with all members in attendance. Please rise for the invocation to be given by Ms. Harold and remain standing for Pledge of Allegiance and honor the Texas flag. Led by Ms. Sharp.
Please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, thank you for our many blessings that you bestow upon our district. We ask that in all things we glorify you, that you give us wisdom and discernment as we make decisions tonight and throughout the weeks to come that affect so many. We ask you to be with our first responders who fight here at home and abroad for our freedoms and to keep us safe. We ask you to bless their families. Do without in their absence. Be with us through the meeting and get us home safely and forgive us of our sins. In Jesus' name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Item 2 on the agenda is open forum. We have one that has signed up this evening. Ms. Hensley, how are you? You can come on up to the mic. I'm going to read you a quick little statement, and then Angie is somewhere. Yeah, Angie will get the clock once I finish the statement, then you'll have 5 minutes, okay? Sounds good. So the board encourages comments from citizens of the district or employees. Anyone wishing to speak, either as an individual or representative of a group, may do so at this time. The board asks that you keep comments to 5 minutes. Remember, the board may not discuss any issues that are not posted on the agenda. If an issue mentioned is listed on the agenda tonight, then the board would defer discussion until appropriate time during this meeting. In addition, the board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure at the lowest administration level a prompt and equitable resolution for complaints or concerns at newcaneyisd.org. So, Ms. Hensley, you have the floor.
Thank you. Okay, well, the first thing I'd like to talk about is masks, everybody's favorite subject. There's a few of us that would like to know the process that was taken to continue on with the masking. And I would like to offer any services that I can to have an open discussion perhaps about it later, because I am not without resources. I'm also not without qualifications to talk about it. I worked 10 years in biotech. Trust me, people, I know when to mask up. The place I worked in the Woodlands, yes, and everybody does usually ask, is the place that cloned the sheep. It could also explode at any minute. And with the chain reaction of the places, we could take out the Woodlands that quick. Trust me, I know a lot about masks, and I know a lot of scientists. Apart from that, I've had a lot of safety training. I've had Red Cross training. I have a husband that travels hospital to hospital as a traveling pharmacy tech. My best friend retired from Navy Medical and ran the labs for the University of California, San Francisco. Trust me, she knows when to mask up as well. And my grandmother retired from the CDC. I can tell you a lot about the CDC. Anyway, this is not any kind of misinformation. It is all well documented. I know the sources, and most of the time I even know a lot of the people. So I could even put you in touch with some of the bigger people that you've probably heard names of lately, just because I am over it. And I want to know, are we ever going to let these masks go? Because the science is not for masks for children at all, and it is real limited for adults. Okay, that being said, I also said I wanted to discuss a little bit about the superintendent's office. Not here to, place any blame on anyone, but I was a facilitator for kindergarten this year, and I did notice some issues. I have contacted the superintendent's office 3 times this year, and I have never once gotten a call back. To me, that seems a little unacceptable. I understand the messages got passed on, I spoke with people, but it was a district-wide concern, and I felt like I really wanted to talk with my superintendent, who apparently was busy, because I never heard anything. Did hear a few things later, and we're going to discuss that perhaps at a later date. because we have a lot of questions about that. But mostly right now, we want to make sure our kids are okay. They're angry. They're upset. They feel like all anybody in the school district ever wants to do is tell them what to do. They don't want to help them. They don't care. And, you know, I have granddaughters. I have 7 granddaughters, y'all, in New Caney ISD. Well, one graduated last year. I hear a lot. They're not happy. They don't like the masks, that the teachers are angry, probably from not, you know, possibly breathing fresh air, just their own carbon emissions with a little bit of oxygen. And the rules are not the same. I had a granddaughter that was out. She didn't go to school until very recently. When I dropped food off, not allowed in the school, by the way, dropped it to someone that took it in. She contacted, obviously, texted her sister at another school and said, Grandma just brought me food. So the one that just got back in school said, Grandma, bring me Starbucks. So I brought it up there. This time I was actually allowed in the school, but told I was not allowed to leave food. Despite the fact that apparently kids are bringing food in the morning, not eating the school breakfast, it's a middle school, why would they? And why are the rules different at every campus? If we're all that concerned about it, are we concerned enough to make the rules the same? Or is it really just not a big deal and we should get rid of it? You know, I was told when I was taking Red Cross training to be a daycare director that you never lock children away from their parents. That is absolutely unacceptable. I understand safety concerns, but I wasn't even allowed in a school. Another school I was allowed in, and not only did I not get to leave the food, was made to feel like an intruder, but my granddaughter got in trouble because I brought her food. She wasn't even aware of the rule. It was her first week to even be in school this year. So our kids are constantly in trouble for nothing. There's too many rules. There's too many rules in the United States. We're all criminals. We can't any of us follow every single one. Well, we're doing the same thing to our kids, and we're not teaching them to go out and seek knowledge. We're not. We are dumbing our kids down. And we're telling them, no, you just have to follow these rules because the government says so. Well, shouldn't we research that a little bit? I did. It wasn't hard. It's a Google question most of the time. It's not complicated. Tell the kids, if you want to know, let's go look. Let's go look. Don't tell them they can't talk about it. I got into an argument with these 2 girls, my 2 oldest granddaughters, because they're constantly telling me, Grandma, you can't say that. You can't talk about that. Oh, girl, trust me, I can talk about it.
All right. That's your 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hensley, for coming up. We appreciate it. Thank you. Item 3 on the agenda is closed meeting. The board will now meet in closed meeting under authority of the Texas Government Code 551.074 for purpose of personnel matters, Government Code 551.071 for attorney consultations, and Government Code 551.072 for deliberation regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Any action as a result of closed session discussion will take place after the board reconvenes in open meeting. The current time is 6:10. The board ends its closed meeting at 7:30 and will now reconvene in open session. Item 4 on the agenda is superintendent's report. Mr. Calvert.
Yes, sir. Last month we talked about getting a bond 2018 program update, so I wanted to share that with y'all tonight. Dr. Powers is going to be running it for me over there. Just an overall picture of where we are. Just remember back in May 2018, voters authorized $200 million in bonds for construction projects. To date, we have issued $120 million. This month we'll be going out for another $50 million to sell in the market, which leaves us $30 million in the pot. That will come early fall of 2021. That usually happens August or September timeframe. So then we'll have all $200 million out there and working on these projects that are listed below. I'll go into a little more detail, but just so that way you can see the overall bond program. We originally allocated $12 million for the Woodridge Forest addition, $50 for the new kefir crossing, $111 for the new high school, $25 million for the porter replacement, and then our facilities and construction staff, their salaries and office expenses, all that kind of stuff comes out of that pot as well. So that's where the $200 million is going. So diving into the specific projects, Woodridge Forest Middle School addition got moved in and everything. August 2021, the original budget was $12 million. Actual cost was 6.3. It's always a good thing to come in under. Why it was so far under is once we got into the project, the scope of work was greatly reduced. Ms. Needham and her team did some great work in the cafeteria. We didn't have to do work there. We worked some things out on the site where we didn't have to do a lot of parking lot changes. So we had approximately $5.7 million left in that project to go back in the pot for other things. The next project is our Kefir Crossing Middle School replacement. It's out on Gene Campbell Road. Original budget is $50 million. Right now we're coming in about $52.25 million. The reason for that overage is we have to do some work on Gene Campbell Road to get it acceptable for the county and just for that type of traffic. We also have some money out there with water and sewer easements and getting utilities to the building. So to date, we've encumbered $46.3 million, and everything's good to go for us to move in and start school August of 2021. Mr. Powell's excited about what he's seeing out there and ready to get in the new house. The biggest one in the bond program was Comprehensive High School number 3. A couple of months ago, Ms. Heine got the official reins to that, so she's getting to know that project well. The original budget, $111 million. Currently, we're thinking that's going to be about $109. So we've got $2 million there as a small cushion, but under nonetheless. And to date, we've encumbered a little over $85 million. So again, that one's looking on schedule, on time, and should be ready to start August of 22. So with our new high school. The fourth and final project in the 2018 bond program is Ms. Land's new house at Porter Elementary. We are working with her as well as some of our other elementary principals to work on a new design. The Tavola design, Dogwood design, Brookwood design, that one's run its course. And so we're going to be looking at a new design for Porter. We're going to start looking at architects this later this spring and this summer, and hopefully have those kiddos in their new building to start the school year August 24. So there's 4 big projects in our Bond 2018 program. That's where we stand on all of them financially as well as the construction time frame. So any questions on that or clarification or anything? All right. Thank you, Dr. Fowler. Next, I wanted to give y'all a COVID update. Basically, there's 2 parts of this update. Protocol update based on the governor's order from a couple of weeks ago, and then a staff vaccination update. We decided after a lot of input from these guys sitting out here that it was best if we kept our protocols in place for the remainder of the school year. Our goal all along has been to keep as many kids in school as possible, and while the state relaxed the mask mandate, they did not relax the quarantine, close contact, all that kind of good stuff. So basically, long story short, keeping masks on under our current protocols keeps more kids in school, and that's what we're here for. So we're going to continue to review this. Safety is always our top priority, with the ultimate goal of having a quote-unquote normal school year next year. So we felt it was best to keep things in place at this time. We've been working with some people to provide voluntary vaccinations to our staff. I started that on Friday. This week, Monday and Tuesday, the TBI clinic, these people know it as the ones that come around the campuses, give flu shots. They and Neighbors Emergency are providing that. Wednesday in this room, Montgomery County Public Health is coming to provide our employees vaccines. And then Thursday and Friday at St. Luke's over at Woodridge Forest Stadium. So basically, if you want the vaccine in New Caney ISD, as well as your immediate family members, you've got the opportunity to get it going this week. So we're very appreciative for those partnerships. Round 2 is going to follow at sometime in April. So that way, all of our people, again, if they want it, have the opportunity to get the vaccine by the end of the school year. So just a COVID update on those 2 areas. Again, the end goal is to keep them all in school as long as possible and then to have a normal school year next year.
Okay. Any other questions? Item 5 on the agenda is reports and proposals of board members.
The Finance Committee met on March 2nd, 2021. We briefly discussed the 2021 budget updates. Brandy informed the committee that we're still on track for a balanced budget, and we're waiting to hear if the state is going to extend the whole finalist provisions. Much of the meeting was spent discussing the 21-22 budget priorities. We walked away from that meeting setting them as 1, providing additional staffing with the focus truly being at the campus level where we can have the most direct impact on kids. and from there addressing the individual campus needs as well. Creating a compensation plan that promotes employee retention through compensation enhancements such as one-time pay. Provide additional funds for capital outlay and a balanced budget.
Perfect. Perfect.
And we're actually going to go back to this finance committee based on those priorities that she's just provided you. So should there be any other suggestions from the rest of the board, the two of us sit on that committee, we definitely encourage speak now so that we can take that back to the finance committee and kind of have some answers.
Well, and one of the things that I think that, as we've discussed moving forward, is we've done a really, really good job with our new teachers in our pay. But I think that an area that I would like to challenge us in is to go back and look at how to better compensate our mid-range, because I believe that we have there's just, it's such a short difference between a person that just exited the school and hasn't really taught at that point versus somebody that's given us 10 or 12 quality years. So maybe we could look at that as an avenue to find out how we can get some distance between that to incentivize that teacher that's in that 10th plus year or 8th plus year, to be able to retain those guys by working on maybe a higher compensation for them somehow going into the new school year.
Yeah, I can say that that's actually a discussion that we had during that
Good,
meeting.
you're already on it.
And we look for a way to maybe potentially extend, like on our more senior teachers, to potentially add on that in. So, but still up for discussion.
Sure.
And how we could achieve that. So definitely something we're focusing on.
Perfect.
I do want to add on to the hold harmless piece, and then kind of back to the COVID.
Get your mic.
Believe me, I think I can hear myself really well. So, can you guys hear me?
Not really.
How about now? All right, so the hold harmless and the COVID update, I want to be very clear that the governor did make his mandate, where the masks were not allowed. That is very true. I have one of the people that was very happy to hear that. But what they did not remove, and Matt had alluded to it earlier, was the close contact and the quarantine. Those rules are tied to our district funding. Our ADA, should a student in one class not wearing a mask, sends all 30 home. They also had advised that we maintain our current ADA, and if we maintain our current ADA, that we would achieve the hold harmless forgiveness for ADA. So when they tie us directly to funding and how we fund this district, we're going to choose to continue to educate our kids and make our district run and not be penalized for making decisions like that. On top of it, it's 40, I think at the time we made that decision was 45 days. It's only 45 more days to go. And we listened to a lot of our principals and our staff. I know there's a lot that don't like it. I know there's a lot that are in favor of keeping them on. We try to make the best decisions, and sometimes they're not the most favorable, but we feel that we made, the best decision for our kids in the schools. So, thank you.
I would like to add to that, Mr. Nixon. We were very happy that, I did like the fact that we did take into account, as you said, that we only have 40-plus days left, and I don't want to see or risk the senior experiences that our class of 2020 lost. I don't want to see them miss that. So, we've already come this far with the mask mandate, and I don't like masks either. And I'm thankful that decision was made, because I don't want to risk their a shutdown or something having to be canceled because we have a small increase in numbers. So, thank you.
Okay. Item 6 on the agenda is consent calendar, consisting of consideration of minutes, consideration of finance report, consideration of purchasing report, and consideration of personnel reports. Are there any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve items on the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The opposed is no. The motion is approved. Item 7 on the agenda is consideration of the approval of application for the staff development minutes waiver for New Caney ISD 2021 school year presented by Mr. Dan. How are you?
Good, how y'all doing
Very
this
nice
evening?
this evening.
Thank you. We're requesting that you approve us to apply for a staff development minutes waiver for the 2021 school year. This allows us to use staff development days during the school year in place of student minutes if needed.
Okay. Development minutes. Okay. Any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the application for staff development minutes? Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The opposed is no. The motion is approved. Item 8 on the agenda is consideration of approval of application for school closure waivers for Infinity Early College School for February 15th, 2021 through February 18th, 2021 due to February freeze by Mr. Dan.
We're also requesting you approve us to apply for a school closure waiver for Infinity Early College for the week of February 15th through February 18th due to the snow and ice days we had.
Okay. Is there any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the application for the school closure waivers for Infinity Early College High School for February 15th, 2021 through February 18th, 2021 due to the February freeze? Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Aye. The opposed is no. The motion is approved. Item 9 on the agenda is consideration of the resolution for paying employees during the closure dates related to 2021 winter storm and delegate authorities to administration to determine potential additional or premium compensation. Mr. Freeman, how are we doing today, sir?
Good. So another resolution for the February freeze. We would ask that you approve paying employees during the time of February 15th through 19th. And also it would include delegating authority to the administration to determine potential additional or premium compensation for those who work during that time.
So this would be an example of some of our plumbers, some of our field maintenance guys, some of our police officers going out and checking the facilities or finding problems and
Correct.
jumping on them quickly.
Some custodians also.
Custodians also?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Are there any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the resolution for paying employees during the closure dates related to February 2021 winter storm and delegate authority to the administration to determine potential additional or premier compensation? Motion has been moved and seconded. There be no further discussion. A vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The opposed is no. The motion is approved. Item 10 on the agenda is consideration of the change order for 59 for easement clearing for Kefir Crossing. Mr. Calvert.
Yes, sir. This is the change order to get all those easements cleared so the water and sewer can be brought from New Caney Mud to the new Kefir Crossing campus on June Campbell.
Okay. Are there any questions or further discussion?
What's the amount?
Mr. Calvert, what's the amount?
It's not to exceed 245,000. At the time board book was ready, we were opening bids, but we know it's not going to exceed that amount.
Does that have anything more to do with than just base clearing? Are there other, we know if there's anything else in there or just base
Just
clearing?
base clearing and grubbing, getting it ready for the lines to go underground.
And that's, okay. Are there any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve Order 59 and change Order 59 for easement clearing at Kefir Crossing Middle School? Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Aye. The opposed is no. Wendy.
Wendy made the motion.
No, Beth did. Motion is approved. Item 11 on the agenda is to consider and discuss revised COVID-19 resolution for 2021, 2020, and 2021 school year. Mr. Calvert.
Yes, sir. This is the initial resolution we approved, actually this time last year, asking y'all to extend that resolution out to the last day of instruction, which is May 21st, 2021.
Are there any other questions or further discussion? Is there a motion to approve the revised COVID-19 resolution for 2020-2021 school year? Motion has been moved and seconded. There being no further discussion, a vote will be taken. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The motion is approved. Item 12 on the agenda is consideration and discuss the naming of the lone finalist for the position of superintendent of schools, presented by me, I guess.
Hi, Mr. Turner, how are you doing today?
That's funny. As the public and staff is aware, the Board of Trustees has been working diligently to find the next leader for New Caney ISD. We reviewed many candidates and were prepared tonight to choose our finalist. Therefore, does anyone have a motion regarding superintendent vacancy at New Caney ISD?
I move that we name Mr. Matt Calvert as the lone finalist for the position of superintendent of New Caney ISD.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. All in favor of naming Matt Calvert as the lone finalist for the position of superintendent of schools?
Aye.
Got to do it twice. Motion has been moved and is approved.
No.
No.
Motion has been moved and seconded.
Seconded. Who
All those
seconded?
say aye.
Aye.
I
Did you say it? Sorry.
Yes, I did.
So motion is approved. Sorry, I got it right.
You got us, all those in favor.
I'd already said it right, didn't
Did not say that.
You still got to let us vote.
I? Oh, I did. I got it backwards.
Yes.
We're going to vote. She's got it down twice. I read it twice. All those in favor of naming Matt Calvert as lone finalist for the position of superintendents of schools?
Say aye.
Say aye.
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 Here we go. Motion is approved. The script was messed up. Sorry, a little script error there. I wanted to state that the law requires that we wait 21 days before the final hiring is made. Mr. Calvert will remain as interim superintendent during this time period. We are very proud to name Matt Calvert, obviously, as our lone finalist. As many of you know, Mr. Calvert has been employed with us, New Caney ISD, since 2014, first as Executive Director of Finance and then as Deputy Superintendent. Our board made a unanimous opinion that Matt be representing us. As all of you know, that our district has been through a lot in the last 3 or 4 months, not only with just the COVID is enough to, I don't know how you guys do that. It's very, very difficult, obviously, to go through what you guys are going through at your level, and then also keeping everybody underneath you motivated, as their days, to me, as I get to go out and visit, seem to be getting longer and longer, and you guys are doing everything you can do to keep them motivated as we push through this, and hopefully, God willing, we will get into the next year and be, I hate to even say normal, but hopefully as close to normal as we can be. But going through this process, I would like to thank the other 6 members for putting in the time, the effort. You can see the books at the end. There, everybody here went through the process. I believe that we worked through it. I believe that everybody did the homework that they needed to do to get us to the point where we came to the decision that we're at. I think that I appreciate Mr. Calvert's being very open, because there were some very difficult questions that we needed answered from us, and the answers that he gave us and the responses he gave us was what we wanted to hear as we move our district forward. Mr. Calvert's been doing a great job for us, honestly, for the last year, and we've been moving in the right direction, and we're excited as a group to see where we're going to go now. More importantly, how he'll push you guys. We all can be better. So we're going to push him to be better at his job, as it will move to you guys also. And as moving into the new chapter, in New Caney ISD. Don't forget that the board is here to help you guys. So I've been on a couple of your campuses already and have visited with a couple of you guys, and I'll do the same with some of the others, and some of the other board members are also going to be out. Don't forget that we're here to help. Matt is here to help, and we are here to help. So we're advocates for you, we're advocates for kids, or we wouldn't do this. So it really matters to us what we can do to help with kids. So we're excited as we move into the new chapter under Mr. Calvert, and excited to see where we go. So does anybody else have any other comments?
I will say that, we promised the district and each one of our administrators when we met with you in December or somewhere in there that we would go through a thorough process. Not to just have big binders up here to think that that's a thorough process, but there was a lot that went into this. I can tell you I've read every page that's in there. We went through every one. And it was not necessarily just a quick decision that was made. Each one of us had our own individual questions, things that we wanted to know, and to seek, the best person for this job. Mr. Calvert has successfully made it through the gauntlet with us, and we appreciate that. We're happy to have, his family a part of New Caney ISD, but as we move into the next chapter, and that's one of the things that I had mentioned back in December, was that we're moving forward and we're moving on. We're going to excel, and we're going to continue to excel. With the people that are in this room, the leadership that we have just a great core of people to really go to that next level and that next step. So, and we're excited that Mr. Calvert's going to be the one to take us there. So, thank you.
Perfect. Well, before I get done, we have some cake and stuff in the back. Come to visit for just a second. Everybody come up and give Matt, can't give him no hug or nothing like that, but you can at least wave at him. But cake and punch to visit, and we appreciate everybody being here tonight. So with there being no further business. Oh, yes, sir. My fault. Yes, sir.
Again,
he told me that, and I forgot.
Yeah, I know. It's been a trying time for the district here recently, but the reason Molly and I chose this place, New Caney, to be our home is because of what you people in this room do, what these people up here on the board do, and just our community as a whole. So this is not just a job. It's not just a line on a resume. It's our home. It's a place we're raising our kids. It's a place we're proud to call home. Our kids are getting a great education, and I look forward to continuing to be a part of that along with the 7 of y'all up here. This doesn't happen just because of us. It's all you guys in the room too. So we're all in this together. I love this district because we put kids first, and everybody in this room, they believe that 100%. I know everybody up here believes that 100%. So just thank you all for your support through the process. Your vote in me is definitely a vote in confidence in these guys, because I wouldn't be where I was today without every single person sitting in front of you in this room and many more out there. So thank you for that vote of confidence.
Thank you, Mr. Calvert. There being no further business, the meeting is adjourned at 7:56.